This is Into the Fire.
I take enormous pleasure welcoming to Into the Fire the amazing person, an incredible athlete, funny media personality, and most importantly, great role model, Sharni Layton. Nice to meet you, Sharni.
Oh, thanks, LJ. Really nice to meet you too. Thanks so much for reaching out.
It's my pleasure. I'm so excited to talk to you today. I actually met you once before. I'm not sure if you remember, but I was on the bounce pressing the golden fist.
Yes, you were on the couch with us.
Yeah, that was exciting.
I've met you before, but also I've just seen you around. You've been at a few media nights as well. I feel like I've just seen your face here, there, and everywhere. So when you reached out, I was like, oh my God, what an opportunity.
Now, where do we start? Your achievement's gone for days, so let's see how we go. As a netballer, you're one of the girls who changed the face of netball forever. How proud are you of the legacy you left?
Oh, that's really beautiful. Thanks, LJ. Yeah, I'm really proud. I don't know if I did leave that much of a legacy. I know that I had an impact on the game when I was there, but I think I would have liked to have done more to have seen it, more as a long-lasting impact than rather just try and shake it up whilst I was in there. But, it's really hard when you're in that position to know how to do that and to do it the right way in regards to, it's a really hard balance pushing a sport and keeping your teammates happy at the same time. But I am very proud of what I achieved in playing netball, and I can honestly say with my whole heart that playing in front of crowds and the noise and everything that they brought to the game was why I enjoyed playing netball so much.
Yeah, and you should be proud because you played so well.
Oh, thanks, mate. I loved it. You can even say I've got this dress behind me too.
Oh yeah, nice. I mean, vice captain and captain of every team you've been in, best players in every league, MVPs, 46 Aussie caps, 2 World Championship, gold medals, a Commonwealth gold medal, and the I am the biggest winner medal. Sorry, I gave you the last one. Was it the fact you won everything that made you look for other goals in a different sport?
Yeah, and I think for me, I don't really look at the achievements for what they are, but I just want to know what I can get out of myself as a human. So when I was younger, I never thought that I would have represented Australia, and I never knew what I could get out of myself. And so I started training really hard physically. But I thought, you know what, the best athletes, and not only athletes, business people as well, they train their minds as well as their bodies. And so for me, seeing a sports psychologist was a huge part of being that whole athlete package. And every time I achieved something that I never thought I would, I was like, well, I didn't know I was going to make the Australian team. So maybe I'll see if I can make a Commonwealth Games. And then once I made that, I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll see if I can make a World Cup. And I didn't just set these goals and make it. Like, I did a lot of hard work and put the processes in place, but it was a really enjoyable experience just finding out what my potential really was, because I didn't really believe in myself that much. And you're right, once I got to the end of netball, I was like, oh, I've kind of done everything in my nicest way possible, but I just didn't have that passion anymore. And I think it's really important to be passionate about what you do in life. So I thought, football will be really fun and a real challenge for me. And it has been an absolute challenge.
Yeah, definitely. Is wearing the green and gold your proudest achievement?
Definitely. By far wearing the green and gold. So as a netballer and wearing the green and gold, you rock up to a game and you'll stand on the transverse line. You've got your sisters next to you, all the girls that are playing with you, and you'll sing the national anthem, and there is no prouder moment than representing your country. So as much as I love playing football, I often get asked now, if I was younger now, would I choose netball or football? And I would still have to say I'd probably still go netball first, because I think that representing your country is just such a great honour, and unfortunately you can't do that in AFL because it's an Australian game.
Yeah, it is a big honour. Now, let me tell you, it's because of people like you that the netball is huge. You've been such a motivating factor for girls all over Australia. On this, every girl I speak to loves you, and you have inspired them. Do you feel that pressure of being such a role model?
I don't feel the pressure. I just feel like I want to be a good human, and then when you hear things like that, it just makes me really happy. I'm like, it's a part of my motto when I decide to do things in life. I want it to be good for me, absolutely, but I want it to be good for others, and I want it to be good for the greater good. So the fact that I've had I see it as an opportunity to inspire other girls and boys, women and men, to be the best version of themselves, just by being me. And I think the pressure comes from, making sure because of that I stay true to myself and I don't get peer pressured into being a certain way, because I think that's when the pressure comes. But for me, it's just been a real reward being myself, and that inspires people. Like, how lucky am I?
Yeah, you should be pretty proud.
Thank you.
That's okay. For someone so driven, you also look like a person who just loves what they do. Do you think it's that balance you seem to find that keeps you going?
Definitely. So as I kind of touched on earlier, I think it's always really important to be passionate about what you do. Are you passionate about these interviews? Do you love them?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right. And then you don't, like, I'm sure you're not getting paid to do this. So, you're just doing it for free, you're doing it for fun, and you don't care, And I think money's almost ruined sport because it stops people playing for fun. And they're like, I want money. And that's not what it's all about. Like, if you can pay to play, then that's awesome. But money isn't what makes sport great. It's the community, it's the physical activity, it's the challenging yourself. I think that's what makes sport awesome. And you just need to be really passionate about what you do. So for me, like I said, when I got to that stage in netball, I'd played for over 14 years, and I thought, I don't have much else that I want to achieve. I'm not passionate about this anymore. And that's why I left and went to football, so that I can be passionate about something else. So, and then, I messaged you earlier. Sorry, I was a bit late tonight because I was down the horse paddock, because horses are another big passion of mine. So, by me having passions outside of what I do also helps drive me, in what I am doing. So it's about having that balance. So definitely, it's what drives me.
Yeah. Now, you're playing for Collingwood, arguably the biggest AFL team in Australia. What was it like pulling on the Magpies jumper? And, of course, the number 1 jumper.
Well, I probably loved it more than you would have been in Adelaide, because I don't know if you like Collingwood too much. Do you?
Oh, Collingwood are a pretty good team.
LJ, meet Chiggy. This is my cat.
Oh, yeah? Pretty nice.
They get jealous of people, so they always jump up when I'm on Zoom. I've always been a huge Collingwood supporter. Even when I was growing up, I always supported Collingwood. And so I used to play netball in Sydney, and when they said that Collingwood was starting a team, I moved straight back down to Melbourne, because I was like, yep, that's where I want to be. And the first time that I pulled on the Guernsey, netball and football, and sang the Collingwood theme song, it wasn't as great as Australia, but it was pretty damn close. It was a dream come true, because as a girl growing up, I didn't know that I could play for Collingwood. It was something that wasn't possible when I was younger. So to now be in my 30s and it's possible for women to play for Collingwood, like, it's a dream come true.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
Yeah, absolutely. Who do you want to play for?
I don't know. Probably the Adelaide Crows, since I'm down here in Adelaide. Big Adelaide supporter.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah. Now, you got your first taste of AFL success in the VFLW comp, winning the GF. Has this inspired the team to really work hard for this season, knowing what that felt like on the back of such a disappointing loss in the AFLW season just gone?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's one thing that you can't teach in teams, LJ, and that's the winning feeling. And you look at Richmond, who have just won, obviously, another premiership when no one thought they were going to. But the reason they did was because they had that winning feeling. And when you know what it's like to win, that'll get you over the line every time. But it's something that you can't teach. It's only through experiences and belief in yourself and belief in the team. But the team also needs to believe in themselves too. So it's actually really tricky. And so for me, I can draw on experiences in winning from netball or draw on experiences of winning, for Australia, for other clubs. I just, like that's my passion. I just love winning. It's really fun. But I need to try and help teach that to the girls who haven't had that experience. And the best thing was when we won that grand final in BFLW, all the girls got a taste of it. And you're right, like we're really driven, especially after just losing to North Melbourne in that final last year, to really go one step further this year.
Yeah, it's a very good feeling when you win.
Yeah, I love it. Do you love it?
Yeah.
Yeah, winning's fun.
Now that you have your first year under your belt, what are we expecting to see this year from Sharni Layton?
I just want to keep improving year on year. And that's going to be really hard this year because we haven't played sport in Melbourne for the last 7 months. And so at least going from 2019 to 2020, in that off season, we played that BFL season, right? So I was, improving all my skills. But for the last 6 months, I didn't even have anyone at home that I could kick a footy with. My fiance lives interstate, my parents live away. So it's going to be really tough to keep my standards up to where they were. But I think little improvements year on year. I want to have better game smarts. I want my kicking to be a bit better and to mark better impact. So I think those are the 3 things I'm going to concentrate on this year.
Yeah, definitely. Now, on the AFL website, it says your disposal is still a work in progress. Is that a nice way of saying when you mark it, look for the handball? Please explain.
Yes, definitely. My disposal is all about getting it to my teammates. That is all I want to do. I don't want to kick it. Definitely not. I think it's very obvious that I haven't played the game for a long period of time. My drop of the ball is terrible. So I do always say to the girls, and you'll hear me out on the field, get around me, so that I can handball it. So you need to accept your weaknesses at times, LJ, and if they're not going to improve, that's totally okay. And I'm hands up. I've got really crappy disposals, but as long as I can get the ruck tap, then we're all good.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's important.
Very important. Focus on your strengths.
Yeah, definitely. You love the media. That is very obvious. You were born for the camera. I absolutely love you on the bounce, and you are now teamed up with fellow Into the Fight interviewee Bernie Vince. Do you really have as much fun on that show as it looks?
Absolutely. I think the best thing about that show is that it is genuine laughter, between Chief getting grumpy, Gay, obviously Spud was phenomenal, and Gazy, just such a crack up, such great jokes. Moons, with all of his All About Moons show, and I love heckling in life. That's why I love playing football, because we all get into each other and we all heckle, but it's all in good fun and no one takes it too personally. But I think the fact that we really genuinely care for each other. I would love to be on the show with Bernie more, but obviously we rotate. So, we don't get to spend as much time together, but we all really enjoy each other's company. We genuinely think that not each other are funny, that we're funny. So I think half the time we're actually just laughing at our own jokes. And I just feel so lucky to have landed on a show where you just get to sit and laugh with funny people for an hour. It's the best gig in the world.
Yeah, well, if you ever need a special guest, I'm here for you.
All right, thanks, mate. We'll bring you back over when the borders open up.
Okay. I'll ask some simple bounce questions now. Does the fact that Bernie has hair and looks 40 years younger annoy the Chief?
I think definitely. I think not only that, I think Bernie's much better looking than what Chief was in his heyday. So there's a lot of, animosity there, a bit of jealousy from Chief. But, I think Chief will, in different ways try to bring him down. I think in Bounce Got Talent, he probably could have rated his dancing a bit higher. But I think when he rated him lower, that was really that jealousy of Bernie coming out, especially because Bernie was wearing a tutu.
Yeah, I think he's a bit jealous.
I think so too. Good pick up there.
Thanks. Are you not invited onto their Yesterday Hero Challenge because you're actually still good at things?
I think so, yeah. You need to ask them that though. I used to really enjoy doing them, but I just haven't copped an invite. And I also, once again, think it is the fear that I'm going to beat them. And, you know, they are modern day men, but they are still a little bit old school and I think can't really handle being beaten by a woman. So, you know, we'll give them that for another year. But I think between me and you, we can probably start pressuring them into me showing them up next year.
Yeah, you definitely should. Who takes longer in makeup, Bernie or Gazy?
Look, I think definitely Gazy. It's more that he needs, you know, a bit of the hairspray. He's going a bit bald there. So, you know, I don't believe everything you see. He's got a few bald spots at the back. So they're going to make sure they cover them up. You know, he's a bit older, so they really need to like pad out the wrinkles as well. So, and he doesn't come across that way, but Gaze is actually really high maintenance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he loves his eyebrows done, eyelashes. He'll kill me if he sees this. He doesn't really. It's funny.
Is it true that Damien Barrett was once a presenter? Geez, that would have been fun. Wasn't a comedy show back then, I'm thinking.
I know. It definitely wasn't when I was on, that's for sure. Maybe that's why they got me on, just to try and lighten up the mood a little bit. So
Maybe.
I think we've had a lot of guests over the years, or as they call us on the end of the seat, so myself and Bernie, we're the fourth banana. So you've got the three solids who are obviously Chief, Gazy and Moons, and obviously when Spuddles was around, he was obviously there too. So, but then the fourth banana has been rotating for a fair few years now. So I know there's been a few people in there, but you know, I've held the seat. It's a bit like an election. You know, I've held that seat for the last 3 years, and I hope, you know, I get the votes to be able to be back next year.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Was Barry Hall removed from yesterday's Heroes because Cameron Mooney was actually scared of him?
I think, yeah, definitely. And also, you know, like Moons thinks that he's got really big muscles, but he doesn't really. So the fact that Barry was there with bigger arms, I think it was more that he just didn't want to be showed up in the gun show.
Definitely. Before we finish up, let me tell you how you got me into trouble yesterday. I thought I'd do a little sneaky check on one of your videos during class time yesterday. It was your mic'd up at the netball camp. I just wanted to say thanks. I got busted. Geez, you're loud. The whole class heard you shouting instructions, and the speaker wasn't even turned up. Lucky for me, my science teacher is your biggest fan. Big shout out to Miss McDonald for not yelling at me.
Oh, thanks, Miss McDonald. And at the end of the day, you're just multitasking and doing your research, so she definitely can't be mad at you for that. But
Yeah,
are you sure it was even on the phone? It wasn't just me yelling from over here in Melbourne?
I know.
I know.
Might have been.
No, I'm just a very loud human.
Okay, no one leads into the fire without a tip from me. Sharni, you're an absolute legend, both on and off the field. I love your passion, and what you bring to any sport you play is incredible. But it's something that you said to me that impressed me most, and I'll quote, I love kicking goals. It's probably the best part of the game. Hallelujah, the player who actually gets it. You're exactly right. It's the thing that matters, because without it, we can't get excited. And without excitement, no one would see the greatest celebration in history. I not only want you to use it, I'm excited to see you use it. You'll go with this celebration like peas and go with carrots. The Into the Fire. You want to give it a go?
Oh, is it Into the Fire? Ooh.
Yeah, next time don't handball off, do that.
Alrighty, I love that. I've never heard of it.
Good.
Amazing. All right, you'll have to keep an eye out this season. I just hope that I didn't use up all of my goals last year. But you're right, because I didn't kick any goal, or I didn't kick any goals. Now I get my sporting terms mixed up now. I didn't shoot any goals in netball. So now that I'm over in footy, I'm like, this is amazing. And netball's a very humble sport, you know. You got to be like, oh, you're very good and you're very good. But you can't be like, I'm awesome, because everyone thinks you're a bit full of yourself. But in football, it's the opposite. You're like, did anyone see that? I just kicked a goal.
Yeah, definitely, you are. It's a great sport.
Yeah, it is. It's so good. Amazing.
Well, Sharni.
Right. I've got it.
Well, yeah, that's great. Well, Sharni, you're a dead set legend. I've had so much fun chatting to you. You're as great as everyone says you are. Keep being you and feel proud of all you have achieved, and we'll continue to do so. Thanks so much, mate.
Oh, thank you. That was one of the best interviews I've done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.